As you can see, it's beautiful, picturesque country. You can see out there in the distance, that's the Drummond Range, and this is some of the best cattle country in Australia.
I have to probably admit, for a period of time I was a climate sceptic. I think we now recognise we have to move on from that and accept that things are changing.
My name's Jenny Todd. I have a beef cattle property called Windhaven, not far from Aramac in central Queensland. I do think climate change is happening and we need to do something about it. It's very important to all agricultural industries as well as everybody really, because any impact on the agricultural industry is going to flow on to everyone eventually.
We're in an interesting situation now. There's huge drought across eastern Australia. New South Wales is in a very bad way. Parts of Queensland, like here, has been in drought for 8 years now. So it reinforces more and more the importance of water to the existence of all life in Australia and in outback Australia.
I'm really concerned about Adani being granted access to unlimited supplies of our underground water. The farmers out here struggle as it is, and all of us are dependent on underground water.
The Adani mine is just up there that direction. Then you've got Clive Palmer's mine, we've got Kevin's Corner, we've got Alpha Mine. These mines are all interconnected.
The Adani mine is one of 9 mines proposed in the Galilee Basin. The Queensland Government has not developed a cumulative model to assess that. What they've been doing is they've been approving mines independently without knowing what the total impact on the regional groundwater system will be.
If all these mines go ahead, in this area they'll impact on over 300 kilometres of feed into the Great Artesian Basin. The mining companies themselves admitted they don't know what the full extent of that damage is going to be.
It's just simply wrong that we should have governments that are willing to give away our water resources without any forethought for the future.
Adani has the potential to really impact on our underground water. Adani offer to enter into make good agreements with landowners.
We were given a number of these make good agreements, and at the end of the day they gave us no protection at all.
What farmers will find is miners will be keen when they're applying for a mine to get surrounding landholders to sign up to make good agreements and promise a lot of things. But then when the mine is actually in place and operating, if you find as a farmer that there are problems, enforcing the make good agreement is going to be where you face a huge challenge.
Until your bore is actually destroyed and your supply is gone, you've got no protection on your groundwater supply.
There is a formation, an impervious formation between the Great Artesian Basin aquifers and the mining seams or coal seams underneath. If Adani fractures those when it collapses its long walls with underground mining, the leakage or loss of water from the Great Artesian Basin aquifers will be a lot more than what's been predicted at this stage.
Prior to running our cattle station, I did work in the mining industry and in the electricity generation industry. Had a bit of experience in dealing with farmers. With more than one mining company operating in an area and having the potential to affect the underground water, the onus will be on the farmer to prove which mining company actually affected their water.
When you're talking about an underground water supply, when you make a mistake, that mistake is permanent. You cannot make good.
What we've really got to do is make sure that we protect agriculture and we also protect the Great Artesian Basin. And the only way we're going to protect the Great Artesian Basin for long term is to make sure that the 60-year unlimited water licence that's been given to Adani is actually rescinded, is taken off them.
It's heartbreaking, especially with this drought now in the forefront of news all over Australia. Surely the government needs to reconsider this licence.
Our representatives seem to be focused on mining, and they seem to be completely concentrating on the mining companies and resource companies in Australia, and especially in central Queensland, and ignoring the fact that agriculture is actually the primary industry that will always be there. Mining will come maybe 10 or 20 or 30 years and it'll be gone, and we'll be left with massive big holes and a degraded area. But agriculture will be here for eons, 1,000 years. If it isn't, we won't exist.
Annette and I have got 5 children. We want to leave them with a better future, and a future that's more certain and more sustainable. If we keep going the way we're going, we're destroying that vision and we're destroying their future.
We need to do everything we can to manage that properly. We cannot afford to put it at risk. We need to make very sensible, very long-term management decisions and look after the Great Artesian Basin with great care.
We're all battling for water in this country, and I think the government's number one priority is to address climate change.
This area is already an arid region on the driest inhabited continent on Earth, and we're seeing record-breaking droughts, record-breaking temperatures, increased drying effect due to climate change. And at the same time, we've got this incredible resource, which is really, it's the last gasp, it's our lifeline in terms of water, and that's the Great Artesian Basin. It's one of the largest freshwater underground basins in the world, and I just can't understand why, in the current climate with so much at stake, you would do anything to jeopardise that resource.
Authorised by B. Morgan Schmidt, the Farmers for Climate Action, 673 Burke Street, Melbourne, Victoria.